So as you guys can see by the title, yes, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. did pass Shohei Ohtani for his 24th home run, which is #1 in all of baseball. But the thing that you have to remember is Shohei Ohtani is a pitcher with a sub 2.7 ERA with a bunch of strikeouts, and you're not supposed to be doing what Shohei is doing. So for right now, I think that Shohei, he's the MVP favorite, even though Vlad, he's been the better hitter. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. Thank you all so much for stopping by. If this is your first time on the channel, we do this every single day, so don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you're going to any baseball games anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off your entire order. So not only in the title, you guys saw that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. passed Shohei Ohtani, but also the Cubs, they threw a historic no-hitter, so we're going to go ahead and talk about that. But first and foremost, I want to talk about the walk-off victory from yesterday. We had the Rays versus the Red Sox. Nick Pivetta was on top of his game yesterday, and Hunter Renfroe, he made a fantastic play over in right field. He is very underrated as a defensive right fielder, and he also might have the best arm of any right fielder. I mean, if you're not talking about Mookie Betts and Aaron Judge. But one thing I really thought was crazy about this game is the fact that Wander Franco, this is only his 3rd or 4th game. He's already upset himself and slamming bats on the ground after striking out, so he has a lot of time left to not suck, so he's gonna be fine. Michael Wacha goes 5 scoreless innings, and he was saved by Kevin Kiermaier's 96-mile-per-hour throw in center field, so he hoses the runner at home. And then, like I mentioned, Nick Pivetta was nasty. He almost goes 7 no-hit innings. He shuts out the Tampa Bay Rays, and then the Rays, what do they do best? They fight back. Even though they had lost a good majority of the last few games, they win 2 in a row, and they're back in first place after beating the Red Sox in back-to-back games. So, I mean, the Rays versus the Red Sox versus the Yankees versus the Blue Jays. As you guys can see by this picture, this AL East division is going to be a crazy ride for the rest of the year. All right, here we go. Let's talk about the no-hitter from yesterday and why it was historic. Javier Baez, he took such a vicious swing, and that's what he always does. That's why he strikes out a lot and doesn't take a lot, because he is just a free swinger. You have Wilson Contreras making it 3-0, and Zach Davies, he goes 6 shutout no-hit innings, but of course, because his pitch count was so high, the bullpen had to come in. Now, before that, Jake Marisnick drives in an RBI, and after that, it was smooth sailing. You have Ryan Tepera, I can't remember his name, Andrew Chafin, I think that's the lefty that came in, and then Craig Kimbrell, they all come in to combine for 3 no-hit innings, so that is the 7th no-hitter thrown of the season already, which ties a Major League record. That is exactly why Major League Baseball had to step in and do something about the sticky stuff and the RPM, because sure, it's not going to upgrade your velocity, but it's going to make you even nastier, even more unhittable, and that's why it's not even July yet, and we've already set a record for most no-hitters. Again, it's not even the All-Star break. And I'm going to go ahead and show this graph one more time, because you can see how much RPM and spin rate was spiking, and now it is plummeting back down to normal, which is going to increase runs, but it might also increase hit per pitches. So make sure you guys take a look at that. Did I say hit per pitches? I mean hit by pitches. There we go. Kyle Schwarber, if you close your eyes and I just say these stats, you would think that I'm reading off prime Babe Ruth stats, because yesterday, not only did he have yet another leadoff home run, but he added his 2nd home run of the game. This was a 3-run shot, so he now has 8 home runs in his last 6 games. That is the 2nd most ever behind Sean Green, who had an explosive 9 home runs in 6 games. You have Juan Soto driving in 2 RBIs on 2 doubles, and Joe Ross was incredible on the bump for the Nationals. He goes 7 shutout innings with 8 strikeouts. I do want to show Jazz Chisholm, because he's kind of been in a funk as of late, but he might have the quickest swing in all of baseball. Even though they give up that 2-run home run with the help of Juan Soto and Kyle Schwarber, the Nationals are now just 3.5 games back of first place after winning 5 consecutive games. And if you guys look at the division, it's not wide open, but they're storming back. We're going to talk about the Houston Astros and the Toronto Blue Jays back-to-back, because in my opinion, they have the 2 best offenses in all of baseball. The Astros now have an 821 OPS as a team after they smacked the Tigers yesterday. So the Astros, they jump out to an early 4-0 lead, but I do want to mention that Akil Baddoo, he has an 11-game hitting streak. He had 2 doubles and a single yesterday. He has been extremely hot in the month of June. I'm going to knock on wood, so I can't be blamed for jinxing it. You have Yuli Gurriel and Carlos Correa making it 8-1, and then Yordan on this Grand Slam, it was kind of mean because the Astros were already going to win, but in Yordan's first 151 big league games, he has a 309 batting average, 40 home runs, 129 runs batted in, and a 162 OPS plus. That is one of the best starts to a career in the history of baseball. Yordan Alvarez, better put some respect on his name. He's not even 24 years old yet. And they are one game away from being 20 games over 500. The Toronto Blue Jays are also on a little win streak. They have won 5 in a row after Teoscar Hernandez, he drives in an RBI, and then Lourdes Gurriel, just like Jordan, they were both a little mean on this grand slam. And then Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hits home run number 24, so we've talked about it. He is now number 1 in all of baseball in home runs, but he's also number 1 with RBIs. I think he's up to 61 already. He has been a machine. Marcus Semien and Bo Bichette, they drive in a few on some doubles, and Anthony Kay was incredible. The lefty went 5 scoreless innings with 8 strikeouts. He was really good yesterday, very underrated in my opinion. He's probably more of a relief pitcher, but as a fill-in starter, he was pretty good. So let me know in the comment section down below, who do you think is going to win MVP? Is it going to be a sneaky pick like Yordan Alvarez? Is it going to be Shohei Ohtani because he does it on both the pitching side and offensive sides? Or is it going to be kind of the easy and safe pick right now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., because he has a 201 OPS plus? Aaron Judge came into this game against the Royals in a bit of a slump, and he ended it yesterday. He hit home run number 16, which a lot of people are not talking about Aaron Judge because so many guys are exploding right now. But he has 16 home runs. You have Rougned Odor driving an RBI on an infield single, and then Judge drives in yet another RBI later on in the game. Luke Voit goes yard, and then Jameson Taillon, he needed this start for his confidence. He goes almost 7 innings, only allows 1 earned run on 6 strikeouts, and then Gary Sanchez, he's back. Scary Gary, I should say, is back. He has 13 home runs and a 134 OPS plus. If you guys are brand new to the channel or you don't know what OPS plus is essentially just adjusting it to the ballpark and the era in which these players play in, and a 100 OPS plus is considered average. So Gary is 34% better than the average hitter this year, which also means that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is 101% better than the average hitter. Brian Hayes is going to be a superstar for a long time. He now has a 28 game on base streak. You have Brian Reynolds, who has a 9 game hitting streak. Over his last 9 games, he has a 455 batting average. So to begin 2021, he has a 313 batting average, 13 home runs, and a 161 OPS plus. He has been an all-star. Make sure you guys vote for B. Reynolds. Adam Frazier on his 4th home run of the year raises his batting average to 330 and his OPS plus to 143. Chad Kuhl cooled off the Cardinals yesterday, and the Cardinals have not been playing well as of late, so what was there left to cool off? He goes 6 innings, only allows 1 earned run, and then Phillip Evans and Colin Moran, they do some damage and driving a few more runs. So Adam Frazier, I want to show you guys this right now. He is number 1 in all of baseball for base hits. Should they trade him or should they keep him for the long haul? Because I think he's 27, 28 years old, so he's kind of aging. Freddie Freeman hit a home run for the Braves yesterday, and that was pretty much it, as Joey Votto drives in pitcher Nick Santillan to take the lead. Santillan was really good in 6 innings. He has 8 strikeouts, only allows 1 run, and Nick Castellanos on this home run as well as an RBI later on in the game. That gives him a 343 batting average, so he is 2nd all of baseball, right behind Michael Brantley, who has been essentially prime Tony Gwynn in the month of June. I forgot to bring that up when we were talking about the Astros, but Brad Brock, I didn't even realize that he was still in baseball. He comes in for the save, so the Braves have now lost 2 games in a row. They're in 4th place, and the Reds are 4 games back of the Cubs and the Brewers. As we saw, the Cubs, they won yesterday. Cleveland, this was a rough first inning after a balk and a wild pitch for JC Mejia, but he settled down. We'll talk about that after we show Austin Hedges hitting a game-tying broken bat RBI single, and then JC, like we mentioned, he had a balk and a wild pitch in the first inning. That's about as bad as you can be, but he only allows that 1 earned run, goes 6 innings with 6 strikeouts. You have to tip your cap because Cleveland, they're without Shane Bieber, the number 1 starter, Zach Plesac, their number 3 starter, now Aaron Savali, who's going to be out for 45 weeks, their number 2 starter. I mean, the fact that JC did this and Eli Morgan was all right against the Cubs a few days ago, I mean, you have to give some credit to the Cleveland farm system. They have pitchers for days. Jose Barrios was really good for the Twins. He only gives up 1 earned run and has 9 strikeouts, but Eddie Rosario, he drives in the game-winning 2 RBIs in a revenge game against the Twins. They dropped him, so he was trying to get some payback and show them that you made a mistake, and he has been really good this month. James Karinchak finishes with the save. That was number 9 on the season, and Emmanuel Clase, he has 11. So if you guys are wondering who you should pick between Karinchak and Clase, it could go either way. They share closer duties. And also I want to mention that Cleveland, they went from last place in OPS to now 22nd. So they've raised their OPS almost every single week since about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And then last but not least, we have the A's versus the Rangers. Ramon Laureano drives in an RBI on this double, and then Jed Lowry drives in another another one on a single before he goes yard in the 5th inning. Chris Bassett picks up his 8th save of the year. He goes 7 innings, only allows 1 earned run, and since the beginning of 2020, over his last 163 innings, he has a combined 2.88 ERA. He has been really good. And then Tony Kemp, he has been playing lights out the last week against the Yankees and now against the Rangers. He makes a crazy play in left field. The A's are now 2 games back of the Astros. All right, everyone, well, that does it for today's MLB recap. Thank you all so much for watching again. Let me know who you think is going to win MVP both in the AL as well as the NL. What do you make of this graph showing that RPM is tanking? And then also, if you're going to the All-Star game, the Home Run Derby, or any baseball game, even if it's a minor league game, make sure that you guys use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek. A lot of people have been using it, which makes me happy because I like sponsorships that benefit the both of us, and the fact that you get to save money on going to baseball games, I mean, that's a win-win. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe out there and enjoy this day in MLB history. See you tomorrow.
On the ground to Panic. Panic to Posey, and Lincecum has done it again. He has no-hit the San Diego Padres for the 2nd time in 2 years.